Some people can't wait to go back to work in person. Others are enjoying doing their jobs from home.
I think it's going to be a real challenge. People had to develop all sorts of new habits in working from home.
Dr. Scott B. is a clinical psychologist at the Cleveland Clinic.
Going back to work is going to be a new challenge. Even though it seems familiar, many people are going to struggle with that transition.
According to a recent poll from Pew Research Center, given the choice, more than half of employees would prefer to continue working remotely after the COVID crisis has ended.
We've also found that a healthy percentage of folks, perhaps 64, 65%, really feel more engaged and active working from home. We're not sure exactly what we're going to encounter when we go back to our workplace. It may be arranged differently. We may be spaced for social distancing. We may have to move at different shifts or on different days. I think all that remains to be seen. So one thing that human brains don't like very much is uncertainty. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a bit of that in getting back to work.
Employers can help.
I think you want to try to be responsive to the needs and concerns of employees coming back. Simple questions like, what can we help you with? What do you need to be comfortable in coming back can make a big difference. Just being checked out occasionally and cared about can make a big difference in making that transition. One of the things that really contributes to job satisfaction is the social element in our workplace. And most of us have been missing social contact. So that's a feature that we might anticipate to be particularly positive, some collegiality, some camaraderie, a chance to connect with people we haven't seen in a long time. That gets our brain off itself. That's often a very nice place to be as well. It's really one of the things that people value about being at work. I think some fear and trepidation is pretty ordinary. I think one thing that humans have a great capacity for is habituating, that is getting used to something new. At the start, we may be a little alarmed or have our antenna up or feel a little more vigilant or anxious, but I think the more we find ourselves in that spot, the more our brain relaxes and we find our ways to adjust and cope with it. Anticipate some discomforts, be determined to move through those to make these your new habits.
B says it takes more than 60 days to create new habits.
We've developed all these tough habits. I say weight gain is alarming. The average weight gain is actually 29 pounds for adults. We really developed some tough coping strategies during the pandemic. Hopefully, getting back to work allows us to normalize the pace and rhythm of our lives. We know that when we are engaged, when our brain is off itself, we tend to feel better and function better. That's one other bonus of getting back to work. So I think the less resistance we have, the more open we are to it, probably the better off we are.
For Fox 8, I'm Dr. Marc.